I know it's hard to tell right now, but this is where my lean-to is going to be. Getting ready to start on the laying out the posts, and hopefully tomorrow start putting the posts in, see what happens. I'm gonna, on each corner, it's gonna be, I'm thinking it's gonna be 10 foot by 28 foot. The building is 28 feet long. I'm really gonna finalize the size of it when I start thinking about my wood that I'm gonna buy. That is extremely high right now. On each corner I'm going to have 6x6 posts. I know it's not probably totally necessary because it's just a lean-to, but what I'm going to do on each corner is notch out for my 2x6 to sit on. I'm going to have 2x6 frame and just use 2x4s for the roof and metal on the roof. Pretty basic, but with the length of it, I think we're going to put a 4x4 post in the center of it. Just have that 2x6 sit on a 4x4 post because it's 28 foot long, pretty long. We don't get real huge snow winters here, but there's not going to be a whole lot of slope. There'll be slope on it, but I don't want a dramatic slope on it because I want to be able to get my equipment in and out. So comfortably. So that's the plan right now. We'll just, as everything else, it's always optional to change your plan. So we'll see what happens. Okay, remarkably, this dirt, after I got down, I don't know, 7-8 inches, I mean, it was no problem at all. And when right now I got my hole at 26 inches, I'm going to put some gravel in the bottom of it for my pole to sit on. And I'm planning on putting gravel all around it and tamping it down, that my dense grade gravel. I'm not going to use concrete. Dense grade gravel, once I tamp it down and it gets moisture around it, it'll harden up sufficient enough. I know that's what Robin did up on the chicken coop, and those are doing just fine. So we should be all right. So I'm going to start measuring here and get ready to, I'm going to attempt to cut my poles before I put them in the ground. I'll see what how it's going to come out. I'm dealing with some different levels of ground. The building is actually sitting level. When you look at it with your eye, it doesn't look like it's level, but it is. So I'm going to go by my roof line on my top measurement and see how this all comes out. But today I'm just working on getting my posts in the ground, but I am going to attempt now to try to measure my first one and cut and notch it before I put it in the ground permanent. I mean, I can do it when it's in the air, but it'll be a whole lot harder. Okay, what I did is I took some of this dense grade. This dense grade, even though it's been at the bottom of the pile on the ground, you don't want to put that on the driveway and have all the dirt mixed in with it. I did it accidentally a few times, but this is good. We've used it up on the chicken coop, and I'm going to use it here. I know I've already mentioned it, but I put a couple inches down in the bottom of my hole. I made my hole a couple inches deeper than what I really wanted it. And I'm just trying to keep the pole from actually touching on the dirt. That way the water hopefully will drain through that in time. I know once that sets up, it's kind of like concrete, but anyway, just to help out a little bit. And just like it is now. She's in there. I won't be able to get it back out. That'll be hard to get back out. As good as it's going to get. Alright, I'm going to just, now I've decided I'm going to put the post in here, and I'm just going to level off of where I want the top of the post to be. With the level, I'll level across, draw a line, that'll tell me where I need to cut my post at. Even though it's putting them in and taking them back out, it'll still be quicker in the long run. pretty long span. Can't get up high enough. Okay, I got it all notched out. There's the first one that's going to be on the back side. Got 1.5 inches by 5.5. That's going all the way across because this other one is coming this way from the back side, and the other one will be going that way. So one or the other, either this one will go all the way, and then the other one will come up and butt up to it. Just we'll see how that goes when we get to that point. Just think what that would have been like if I put the camera on fast mode. Anyway, I got my little pocket there for my water to collect in. So it's time for a little break. Small, short break. And then I'm gonna put the beam up. That's not good. Or the snap, crackle, pop. Find a better tip. We got that beam up there that had a bow in it and accidentally fell off. Cracked a little bit on that side, but I was able to put more screws in it. It'll be fine. That's one of my good sayings. It'll be fine. My other saying is it's in the bubble. So, all right, I took a string. You can see, oh, sorry about the camera there. Stuck on my string. I took a string on the side there and brought it out here to my next one just to double check it. Measured over and it was centered. Excuse me. So I'm doing pretty good by just eyeing. But that brings me to the next hole. I'm going to try to do it with the backhoe bucket and see if it's going to be any quicker. Alright, I got my figuring done. I used a 2 before. I just measured to the bottom of it to get my level mark. And I didn't want to have to mess with the 2x6. That little bit, a couple more inches, does make a difference on an old man trying to lift it up there and hold it up there. But it's not too difficult. It measured 139 inches. I've got right now, whatever my hole is, I think it's either 17 or 18 inches. That's with the dirt. I didn't put the rock in there yet. I should have, but I didn't. But I'm just going to put a, you know, like I've been doing, a couple inches of rock. So you add your 5.5, and it comes to 12 foot 1/2 of an inch. And this beam is supposed to be a 12 foot long. It's actually 12 foot 1/2 inch long. So, but I do have to deduct for my fall, which I'm just going to do like a 1-inch fall. Just want enough for rain to fall off of it. The snow, I'm not really worried about the snow. It'll be all right. It'll either slide off, or we're going to have our joists close enough, and we'll have 1 bias on top of that for the metal. That is really not going to make a difference on that. So that'll work out all right. So if we do our fall, which is 1 inch, that puts us at 138 inches. And then you add the 5.5, that's going to be right up here at 12 foot. So there's my 12 foot mark. I may not even worry about cutting that off. because I'm going to have the 1x on top of that, which will raise our well, I'm sorry, we're going to have the 2x4 on top of it, on top of this plate I'm putting, this support I'm putting on. So I may not even worry about cutting that 1/2 inch off. So let's get started marking it out, cutting it out, and then we will put the beam in. Okay, I I've got it sitting where I want it. It's just not in there very good, so I'm gonna start backfilling it soon. Problem I had, the biggest problem is where this hole is just too big. And that's partly me not being very good with the backhoe yet. I haven't used it that much. I haven't used it at all to dig a hole. Digging a trench is totally different. So I'm going to try it again on the next one. I'm just going to try to get more precise. And if I can't do it, I'll just do it by hand, but I'm going to give it a try. But what happened was I got it in here, and of course with this bigger hole, it's wanting to length. I mean, once it starts falling, with the post holes, it won't fall all the way out. So you got something there to kind of help it keep it up. Here, it'll just fall over because this hole's too big. So then I got it sitting there, got it level, and then it was twisted. And so, again, when it's in the post hole, you can sit there and twist it around. Then when you get where you want it, then you can put your stakes in. So I was trying to do it all at one time. But I got it. Just took a while. Now I'm going to have a lot of backfill here to do. And tamp it down. And then we'll put our beam in. Something I forgot to do, it looks like it's centered, but I really need to check that also. So let me do that first. Buddy, it's a little off. It's a little off. Now I just need to decide if it's bad enough off. It looks like it's about 1/4 of an inch off. I don't think I'm going to worry about 1/4 of an inch. Well, I forgot to turn the camera on. There's my next beam. Show you something here real quick. That's a 12-foot 2-6. But I wanted a little overhang. You can see a little overhang right there. I wanted that overhang because we're going to extend the metal back towards the existing roof, so the water will drip off it onto this hopefully, and then go to the ground. That way we don't have a bunch of water piling up down here. That's the plan anyway. And then over here, I left it overhang for now. I didn't cut it off because I may put a fascia on there and put a gutter on there and have a water collection barrel either at this end or that end, probably down this end to stay out of the way of everything, and use that water for anything here on the property, like watering plants or whatever. So that's another plan we got. So on to be doing the 4x4 next. Okay, went and got my new post. Got it notched out here. Now I'm going to put some gravel in the ditch, get it up to where it needs to be, and hopefully when I put it in, it'll be level across there. Hammer. Wanting to keep falling this way. If I had my hammer, hey, it wouldn't be a problem. Wow. There it is, way over there. This other one in here temporary. this way. First thing I need to do is make sure I got my 12-foot center to center before I do anything else. Then I'll get it all the way level. Alright, here's what I really want. Now, way over there. About 2.5 inches. Okay, I'm having major issues here. I've been messing with this for probably 20 minutes. The last hole I'm going to try to do with post hole diggers, this is too difficult this way. But anyway, my problem is, yeah, trying to get it to stay up, working by myself. But my post, the bottom of this hole was muddy from sitting with rain and whatnot for going to be a week and a half. So now, even though I got my gravel in there and tamped it down, the weight of the post is still going to go down. So I'm going to have to try to find some solid slate to put down in here and try it that way. Alright, got me a flat piece of concrete in the hole, but I had to cut 1.5 inches off the end of my post to get it to work. So it's not dangerously shallow yet, but it's getting there. So it's at 14.5 now, but I do believe it'll still work. It's just carrying that that load of those 2 2x6s in the middle, but I don't think it's gonna hurt it any. All right, got my hole down to 22 inches. Hit a few rocks, nothing major. Now I got to put some gravel in the bottom, and then I will level a board across from the center post. Take my tape measure down into the hole, see if I need to cut off my post any. I don't know how long it's going to take to get this lean-to done. When yesterday evening, rain was not supposed to have a chance until today around 6 o'clock. It's been raining off and on since about 10 o'clock, 9:30 or 10 o'clock this morning. So, but it's not real bad, it's just spotty showers. Actually, I've been out in them a few times. Kind of cools down a little bit. But then, once it stops, it gets humid, you're wet, and then you get really sweaty. But anyway, I got the post cut, and now I'm getting ready to put it in the ground as soon as the rain lets up a little bit. Oh, great. Forgot about that board falling. And there it goes. What happened there a minute ago was when it fell over. Before, I don't think I filmed this part, was I was trying to put the tuba 6 up from this end, and it fell off the edge. It fell down and cracked my brace. So I decided to move my ladder over to the center, forgetting that I broke that brace. So when I put the board up there, it just tipped on over. So the reason I hadn't filled that hole up yet was I was pretty much out of that dense grade. So I went ahead and just threw some dirt in the bottom of it for now. And I'm trying to get this brace up and that brace up before it starts raining. Sun's coming out now, but around 2 o'clock, chance of rain and from 5 to 7 thunderstorms. So I'm at least trying to get this bracing, the framing up, get ready for my 2x4s. Decision time, because it's just not going to work out the way I'm wanting to do it. I think I'm going to have to cut these off flush with the 2x6 and put a joist hanger on it to get it enough fall that I'm wanting, because I'm not comfortable with taking any more of the board out and be able to hold the weight. So fine on this end. As deep as I can go on this end to get my roof to match up right with this other existing roof. So decision time again. So okay, I got my joist hangers. This is actually several hours later than the first clip in the video. So I'm gonna go ahead. I've got some other things that I have to get done today, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this one up here so I can make sure it's gonna be the way I want it to be, and then I'll have my template to continue on when I start back on it, which will probably be next weekend. So let's see what we can do here. Alright, I got the first two joists complete. I went ahead and I'll make this look better. I may even change how I'm doing it. But I decided on each post, this center post, and then those other two corners close to the building, we'll put a brace over. That's really sturdied it up some too. Well, the problem we've got now, I got half of the 2x4s in, so I've still got 5 more to go. 5, yes, I've got 5 more to go. I've got about 7 laying on the ground. The problem is every one of them is either twisted or warped. So I've got, I believe it's 7. Shoot, it might be 7 or 8. 12-foot 2x4s that are almost useless because they laid on the ground too long. They were closest to the ground. I had them raised off the ground with some boards, but so what I've done is I've turned them over, but I don't want to wait all weekend. But maybe we can salvage them and use them for something else. I don't know. But it's gonna rain, but we got big clouds and then we got sun, so it's probably not gonna last long. So maybe I'll get a chance to go down there and reevaluate what I think is going on with the boards and take it from there. Well, good morning. It's Saturday now. Had some rain come in yesterday evening. By the time it quit, it was too late to really get started on anything else. So if you remember, I was mentioning, I think I mentioned that the boards that were bowed, I turned them over with the crown facing up, hoping that it would help out a little bit. And believe it or not, it did. I've got a couple that still have a small bow in them, but I need 5 more joists or 2x4s, and actually got 5 right here and one over there. I got 6, and about 3 of them are not perfectly straight, but they're straight now. All right, we're back from the lumber store. I've got 10 1x3s. Got your old pine, 12 foot long. That there is $84 and change worth of lumber. Well, I would say good morning, but it's well, it's late morning, early afternoon, something like that. It's coming up on the hottest part of the day. I was doing some other things this morning, and just now getting over to do this. It shouldn't take a real long time. It's pretty cut and dry. Just gotta figure out my distance. I put the one on that side, that edge over. And next one I'm going to put on this edge, then I'll kind of figure in between for the other 3. And then just do the other side like that. Then I'll be done with roof until we can get the actual metal or whatever we're going to put on there. So then I'll probably do those other 2 braces like I was talking about. And then I'm probably just going to do some backfilling and get rid of all this stuff that's laying around on the ground in here, to get ready for my gravel. I still got some number 4 gravel to put down in here. I don't think I've got enough. And then after I get the roof done, whenever that is, we're going to get back on the driveway because the driveway is kind of getting away from us. I had planned on having all this dense grade done by now, but you just gotta, when you're on budgets, you gotta save money. You gotta put your money where it's most important. So hopefully we'll plan on getting this done before the winter hits. But anyway, get back to it. Out of roofing nails. That is gonna steady the lean-to up pretty nice. And I'll just cut that off flush here soon. And I'll probably redo this one, raise it up some. I gotta get my screw gun out though, so I can take it apart and I'll just nail it back on there. And getting ready to put this one down on the end over here. It's gonna sturdy it up pretty good. Almost as soon as I get out here and start working, it starts raining. As long as it's a drizzle like this, I'm gonna keep going. All right, I am ready for my metal. There is some thunder in the distance, so I may take a break, even though I've only been going for about 45 minutes, and see where it's going to. So that's about all we can do on the structure part. As soon as the weather clears up a little bit, I'm going to start backfilling here and start getting the ground cleaned up and prepared for my gravel. There's where we're at. You know, I was just thinking about what I said, and I said when the weather clears up. Actually, today, Sunday, Monday, there's a 40 to 60% chance of rain all through the day. Now today, I went to town to get the nails, came back, messed around the house, messed around with the dogs. Finally decided to come out here. As soon as I started working, I could hear thunder in the distance. So that's my fault. But at least I did get the running boards done, ready for the metal. But so I'm just gonna have to dodge the rain storms all this weekend to get done what I'm hoping to accomplish by the time we head back to work. So there's where we're at. Alright, I've got all the big pieces of wood cleaned out. Now I'm just going to bring the tractor in with the loader bucket and just spread out these piles of dirt or mud and move my box blade over there. I'll move it over here next to the mower deck so I can get in here and work the ground, and then we'll be ready for our roof. After that, start putting gravel down. And the idea here is to try to get up as close as I can to the building with my loader bucket. Obviously without hitting the building, which I didn't hit the building, but I was dragging the dirt out some, but it was just taking too long for my taste. So again, you see I'm scraping it here. A couple times it worked pretty good. Maybe I'll try it again next weekend whenever I have time again, or I'm just going to spray some grass and weed killer along the building there to take care of that before I put the gravel down. try to kill two birds with one stone here. And not only getting the grass off, it's hard to tell through the camera angles, but there are a lot of humps here in this part. And this is actually coming downhill from the upper part where the box blade and the mower is sitting. I'm still going to keep that slope for when it rains, but I'm going to need to chop off some of these high spots too. And after that's done, I'll try to smooth it out some. Okay, on the second piece, I still have a little bit of a fear that I'm a little out of square. So the second piece here, I'm probably going to do some measuring of some sort to make sure that I'm square. Then after that, everything should go in pretty quick. As you can see here, I'm using a pilot bit for my screw holes. I did that for a little while, but I found out that the bit was wearing out real quick, and it ended up it was making scratches on the paint, scratching the paint too much, and the screws were self-tapping screws, so really didn't need to do it. I just thought I was helping out, but it really was creating an extra step I didn't need. You don't want to tighten these down too hard that it flattens the washer out. It's hard to do sometimes. Well, after careful measuring and looking at things and thinking of things, of course, first thing you think of is that you've done something wrong. But what I'm trying to do with my metal is I'm trying to prevent a bunch of water coming off the roof of the garage coming inside of my lean-to, because I may want to store some stuff under here to get it out of the building. You know, tools I don't care about, but I may want to store some other stuff that I don't want to get wet. So I'm trying to make it to where the water comes off of this garage roof onto the lean-to roof and then runs off here. So my plan was to build my lean-to low enough and compensate for the height of my running strips and in the metal to be able to do that. Well, on that end, it started out, I was about 1/4 of an inch too high. Maybe not even 1/4 inch, but it was too high. And I tried loosening up the metal with the screws so I can scoop my metal under there. It wasn't working out. So I got some caulk and was caulking it. So the first 3 are caulked on the seam, and then I got to the 4th one, this one I just put up, or the no, I got to the 3rd one. The first 2 were caulked. Got to the 3rd one, and I noticed that the pitch the first part of it was hitting the metal on the garage roof, and the other half was actually going to slide underneath of it, which means either my roof is going downhill or my lean-to frame is going downhill, which it was reading level all the way across, or the building is a little bit out, going up a little bit. But regardless, now the metal is going underneath of it. Well, I just thought a minute ago, you know, all my metal is 12 foot long, every one of them. So it shouldn't matter where I put my 12 foot, it should all work out the same. But what it's happening, I just put up the next piece. I don't have it screwed down yet, but I got it laying up there and put it just underneath of the metal roof on the garage, and it's not even out here. So my roof is getting to where it's the end of my 12 foot is not coming out even. So I'm just going to have to forget about out there. Let it. It's like a, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch difference, 1/2 inch further in, something like that, which tells me that the garage is not sitting the same squareness. I measured my frame off of the building, so it's square with the building, but my metal is not square. And I'm trying to line up the slots. So I don't want my metal to be running out like that on my lean-to, because then it's going to be really bad on the end here. So to bring it out straight, I'm just going to have to go ahead, not worry about that end, get it right on this end to where it's underneath of it, and it still may not run off right, because like on a house you have a drip edge that keeps your water from running back in. So it still may do that, but at least it won't be a stream of water coming off, it'll just be dripping. So, and then when I get done on this end, once I get tired of looking at how uneven it is, I'll take my metal snips and cut it even. So, because eventually I want to put a gutter up on this end. So I may end up cutting the metal off even more anyway, who knows. But I'd like to put a gutter on this end and have a rain barrel down here to collect water to use for watering plants and stuff. So that's where we're at. Yeah, I'll show you what I'm dealing with here. If you can see down there, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the caulk joint that's coming straight out, that's where I slit the metal. And can see where the caulk is on top. From there on back, from there going forward, you can see where the elevation changes. So now my metal is underneath. And I tried to line these up, but it's gotten off. Looks like the same type of metal, but it's gotten off a little bit. But I couldn't get it when I put it on top, my metal on top of here. I couldn't get it to slide any further this way. And if you look the pattern, I believe this one is a little bit wider than this one, but it's the same design. But I believe, you see that or not, this gap I believe is wider than this gap. Feels like it whenever I put my hands on it. Not much, but if it's, you know, 3/8 of a difference, quarter of an inch or 3/8 difference as you come down the line, that's going to add up. So it's going to be what it is, as long as it is able to ride the rest of the way underneath here. I'll just worry about out there where the other end is at another time. We are going to get the metal on this roof. Good morning. Saturday morning. Got a little bit done yesterday. Got a little bit later start than I wanted to yesterday. I was doing some work on the computer. But we got about, well, I'll just tell you. 1, 2, looks like we have 3 pieces left to put up. Should be a problem. If everything was square, as mentioned in the last part of the video, if everything was square, it wouldn't be any time getting it up there. But it's going a little bit faster now, and we'll get that done. And then I'm probably going to go get some lag bolts for each corner, just to tighten up a little bit more after all the weight's on there. And then I'll probably take a few more screws and go from that outside header into each truss there. Just finish up on tighten it up, and then we'll be done. Except, and I'm not sure when I'll do this, but I'm probably just going to take some brown paint and paint the boards on the outside here. These outside ones are not treated. I should have gotten treated for each one of those outside, but I didn't. So I at least want to get some paint on them so they'll last a little bit longer. We may end up putting some metal on the outside here, but that won't be anytime soon probably. You never know. Plans change around here constantly, but that's what's the fun of it, you know. We always have something to do. It's just whatever we end up deciding at the time what the priority should be. So let's go ahead and get started, get this metal done. For those of you that might be wondering, the metal's really not that heavy. It is 3 foot wide and real flimsy. So it's more awkward than it is heavy. I mean, it's not light, but each sheet doesn't weigh that much. It's just pretty awkward to work with, especially when you're on a step ladder that's on gravel. I was hoping to have my dense grade gravel down on top of this number 4 before now to help out with steadiness on the ladder, because if I had a number 4 down here like the rest of the driveway, it'd just be kind of like setting it on concrete. So, but just got it to go slower and be more careful. You can see how this is not lining up anymore. We're to the point that we just got to make it work. Taking some extra time to try to get a little bit of an overhang. That way hopefully the water, hopefully most of the water just comes down here and runs down. I'll go back here and check out the back end. Yeah, the back end here is what it is. You see how each one is not lining up with the last one. Holding the camera right now, so sorry about that. You can see where there's a little bit of difference. So what I'll end up doing, I've got one more, it looks like, to go. That's what it looks like. And then I will take the shortest one on this, which will be the one down here on the end. When I decide to cut it off, then I'll measure that, go on the other end, measure it, chalk a line, and cut it off. That'll be fun. Okay, as you can see here, we're going to have a little strip we got to cut to finish up. Came up a little short. That's just the way it is, the way the pieces work out. But what I've got is on this end here, I got about 6.5. And on that end down there, I believe it was 7.25. It's around 3/4 of an inch difference, something like that. So what we'll do is we'll have to take the last. It's a good thing Robbie wanted to buy an extra piece, because I need it. It's not extra anymore. But we'll just have to take a piece of chocolate line and cut it off. Okay, well what you're gonna see here in a minute is me trying to cut this metal. My intention at first was to use my tin snips, and then I tried an old pair of metal shears that we had in the building. I tried two different types of tin snips, straight cut, angle cut, and that just wasn't going to work. So what I did was I got out my saw, my circular saw, and you'll see that I'm trying to cut on the rib because I want that to be on the edge of the roof so the water doesn't just fall off the edge. So you're going to see me in a minute here turn the metal over to the backside because it's more flat. And the problem I was having with the saw is where the metal is so flimsy. You may think I don't have my blade the right way, but I've got it turned around. But what it was doing is on the backside, once it cut the metal was flopping down, and then my blade would catch on it, and it was causing my saw to veer off. I ended up not getting a lot of that on film because it just took so long to get it done. But so you'll see here in a minute what all I'm going through with this to get it cut. That was taking too long. Straighten the camera up some here. That was taking way too long. Hopefully that'll go better. Just flip your blade around backwards when you're cutting metal. And, well, you should wear them all the time, but make sure you got eye protection on. Go just a little deeper. Maybe I should do it like this. I'm gonna regroup again. Well, I got it cut. But Lord, it wasn't good. So we shall see what it's going to look like I'm gonna put it on. I don't recommend it. I hate cutting metal. I've only done it a few times in my life. And this stuff here, we're so flimsy. Blade, the saw kept wanting to, on the reverse, it was hitting on the metal. So I kept trying to shim it up. I eventually got it, but man, it wasn't fun. Well, it doesn't look half bad. I believe it'll work. Now, let me show you a couple things here. You can see it has a pretty good overhang here. You can see that. Yeah, from the end of the wood. The reason I did that, because I actually only need about 7.5 inches. The 7.5 inches came to like right here. So I wanted this beveled edge on the end so water wouldn't just run off this way, it would run down. That's why I did that. I'll just screw it. I'll put each screw down here as close out to the edge of the wood as I can. It'll be fine. All right, time to go get some screws. Well, all right, I am done with the metal. Yeah, it's not perfectly straight, but it's done, and we're just about all the way finished. I don't know if I'm going to do any more video on this. This is video number 11. So this may be it. It doesn't look bad though. The front, like I said before, I wanted the overhang on it because I am hoping to put a gutter system on it with a rain catch barrel right here with that ladder sitting or on that end. So that's why I wanted the overhang. If you notice, the wood goes out past the metal. That is why, because eventually I'm hoping to have the gutter on there. That's not going to happen this winter though. We got other things to work on. I don't have as much overhang on this side because of the corner of the flashing, I guess you could say. I probably should have done what I could do, done more actually. That's what I want to say. I should have done more cutting, or cutting at all. I didn't do any cutting there. I just put it underneath the flashing and brought the edge over some more overhang, but I didn't. I guess if we want to, we can cut another piece to bring it over some. See what Robin thinks about that. But I am planning on painting this brown just so we can have it painted so it's that's not a treated 2x6. That's just regular 2x6. So, but other than that, you know, paint all this brown too. The posts are treated, so I'm not gonna worry about them. Paint the other end over there brown, although it has more of an overhang, so it's not gonna be in direct water. I mean, if it rains sideways, I guess it will. But that is the only part I wish I had done a little different, is brought that over. And I guess I'm never satisfied, I guess. But it is what it is. Get one last look here. Hard to get up here in the hill. Hard to see it. But you'll see it in other videos coming up in the background somewhere. But the important thing is, it's not going to have water going in on everything once we get done. We still have to put our dense bed gravel. That's the next thing we're getting. The next big thing is the dense bed gravel for here, and I'm going to be redoing the driveway. So that's coming up as soon as we get the money. All right, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. If this is the first one that you've caught on this, when you have time, go back and look at the other 10. There's 10 other, I believe it's 10. I'm pretty sure this is video number 11 on this lean-to. So it's been a long process. You only get to work on it on the weekends. I don't really have time to do anything on it during the week by the time I get home from work. So thank you for watching this time, and I hope you have a great rest of the weekend or week, whenever it is you're watching this. And God bless, and we'll see you next time.